So here we are now at the demonstration part of the lash lift and tint procedure. So what we have already done is a full consultation covering all the aspects listed in the consultation procedure. The client knows exactly what's about to happen, what to expect, and I have explained and chosen with the client the correct colour that we're going to tint, and we've talked about the shape and lift we want on the lashes. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to get our client onto the couch. We need to make sure she's comfortable, check if she needs something underneath her knees to release that pressure in the back. She's going to be laid down for a whole hour, so we need to maintain that comfort all the time. So we're going to check with the client consistently to make sure she's comfortable. So the first thing we're going to do is prepare this work area. So we're going to start by cleansing the whole area with a very gentle eye makeup remover to make sure that there is no makeup left on, but there could be where they could have had strip lashes on, any glue, anything. We need to make it sure that everything is perfectly clean. So we're going to take some damp cotton wool and a very gentle eye makeup remover. So we're going to have separate pads for each eye. Okay, just keep your eyes closed for me. This will feel cool. So just gently hold the pads over the eye. So if there's anything on there, the product gets a little bit of time to dissolve that product, so there's less rubbing involved. The least irritation that we can create for the eyes, the better at this point, because we are going to be using a lot of chemicals around the eye area. Obviously, we've patch tested, so we're good to go with that, but we just want to keep everything to a minimum at this stage. So we're just gently going to support the eye, and we're going to gently go down the lash and then up underneath. Now, if there is residue, you'll see it on the pad, and that will make sure that you go back in until that pad is clear. If you're wanting to get, if they've got very congealed makeup, you may want to use a cotton bud with some eye makeup remover on it just to get in. But you can see here, this is the action that generally you would take, and there's nothing coming off. And discard everything straight in the bin. And the same on the other eye. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get the bottom lashes out of the way. The first procedure is going to be the lifting of the top lashes. So it's really, really important that you take your time and you get those bottom lashes completely out of the way. Because if you accidentally had one hooked up with the top lashes, you would curl that up, and the last thing you'd want to create is a bottom lash sticking up into your client's eye. So this is really, really important. So you can use micropore tape like this, and you can take a piece of tape and stick it over the bottom lashes. That works particularly well. I prefer to work with a pad, and this is a non-branded course, so you can buy your pads from anywhere you like, any wholesalers, any brand, and position them over the bottom lashes. So a new packet for each client, and you need to open the sealed packet, your scissors. Now lots of companies do these, so you may find one that you prefer to the other, but they all look very, very similar. So they come, as you can see, the shape. So you're going to really use that shape underneath the eye. So kind of have a look, see which one you prefer to use where. And you're going to take the sticky bit off the top. As you'll see, it peels off. So So it's really simple to use. So you're going to get your client to look right up for you at this moment in time. So you need to explain, this is the fiddly bit, this is just for a few minutes, so that they know that to expect what's coming, and that it doesn't matter if they blink at all or their eyes water, whatever, just it's fine. You just need to get these bottom lashes out of the way. So just look right up for me, and if you, dependent on the actual length of their lashes, may determine how easy this is. So it may take a bit of trial and error. Once you feel you've got it in the right place, press it down. Just close your eyes for me. Now, how does that feel? Does that feel uncomfortable?
No, it feels fine.
Okay, so if your client said at this point, I can really feel it rubbing a little bit on the outer corner, just reposition it. Take your time to get it so that the client's going to be comfortable. So when you've got this fixed into position, you can take a cotton bud or an orange stick and just smooth along . And make sure that those top lashes are all over the top and none of the top lashes are poked under. So really take your time. So when you start out doing this treatment could take you a while because of these procedures, but it's absolutely worth taking the time to get the proper result that you're after. So when you feel completely satisfied that all lashes are on the top, all bottom lashes are tucked out the way, move on to the next eye. Okay, just look right up for me. Okay, just close for me. And again, we do that procedure there. And then when you've done that, go back and check the first eye and just make sure that all the bottom lashes are underneath and all the top lashes are sitting nicely on the top. Look through this a minute. Okay, so when you are completely happy that all the lashes are in exactly the right place, the client is comfortable, nothing's making her eyes feel uncomfortable at this point, you can now say to the client, that's it now, all you need to do is lay there with your eyes closed. They will start to relax because they know what to expect. They've done the difficult part with you sort of moving things and getting everything set in place. So now they can just switch off, and they may want to chat and they may want to drift off to sleep, whichever, just let the client go with whatever they feel is for them. This is their time. So now we have to choose what is going to create the lift on the actual lash by sticking something onto the actual eyelid. So there's a lot of different ones you can purchase. So my recommendation would be to do a little bit of research here and see what one you prefer. So just to give you a little eye opener. So we have ones which I generally work with, which like this one, which are silicone. And they've got a little lump here, which is what's going to create the lift. So you want to just take them and just have a little look about how they sit on that eyelid. So if it didn't fit particularly well, or you didn't feel it was a good size for that client's eye, you may then want to change to a different one. But just to show you before we start, you can just test how this is going to go by pressing the lashes up and see that the lash length is long enough to actually stick onto that one. So you can try, just to show you a differentiation. And again, these are again silicone and they come in different, this is the larger one. You can use these ones, absolutely pop them along the eyelash line like this, and you can see whether they lift over as well. So either work well, it's just your brand choice of what you want to work with. So I'm going to stick with this one for this particular client. So we have a actual glue to use. Now I'm showing you these two because one's a new one and one's an old one. So I just want to show you the difference of how they behave depending on whether they're old or new. Now the older they get, you would think that it's, you know, you're not going to like it as much, but actually it gets really quite sticky, so it works quicker. But just expect that, that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with the glue, that's just how the process happens. So what you do, first of all, I'll use the new one to show you to start with, is you take your silicone pad and you paint some of the glue. Careful not to drip anything onto the client, actually onto the back of the silicone. Now these silicone pads are obviously clean. They're, you can spray them to sterilise them once you've cleaned them. So take this silicone pad with the glue on, stretch the eyelid a little bit so that that skin is taut, and kind of look where you need to position it, and then you are just going to lay it down onto the actual lid. So you don't want it touching any lashes, just want it on the actual lid, close to the lashes. If there's a little bit of skin showing, don't worry. We just want to hold that into position for a few minutes until that glue adheres to the skin. So this glue is made for this purpose. Don't just use any glue. It is in contact with the eye area, and that's quite a sensitive skin. So we just hold that into place until that's adhered. And then we do exactly the same on the other eye. So just to demonstrate the difference in the glue, if I take this one, which has been opened and closed a few times, you can see already, I don't know if you can see clearly, how gloopy that is, and it kind of gets quite elastified. So we just do exactly the same, but you can see that how it works, it's really sticky. But it's exactly the same glue, it's just half used, this one. And you do exactly the same as you did on the first one. Slight tension on the actual eyelid itself. And press that down until it adheres to the actual eyelid skin itself. So this one may stick quicker just because it's just, as you saw, a little bit stickier. So different products will work slightly differently, and the one that you choose you'll get used to working with, and then they are stuck. Now if they do seem to lift a bit, you might need to hold them a little bit longer. You may need to put more glue on. As you get more efficient with your treatment, you'll kind of get to know what works and doesn't work for you or that particular client. And when you're happy that that's all stuck in place, we're then going to stick the lashes around the silicone. So we're going to use the same glue, apply it to the silicone lid, and then we're going to curl the lashes onto that glue.